During my time in Kot Lakhpat Prison, I encountered countless stories of crime and punishment, each with its own clear-cut narrative of guilt or innocence. However, one case stood out as a perplexing enigma, leaving me torn between two conflicting versions of truth. This is the story of Bhola, a man whose innocence or guilt remains shrouded in uncertainty. Bhola was unlike any other inmate I had encountered. Despite the weight of his circumstances, he carried himself with an unshakable joviality, his smile a constant presence even in the darkest corners of our confinement. He was my handyval, a term we inmates used to refer to close companions who provided support and camaraderie in the face of adversity. His story, however, was a tangled web of contradictions and uncertainties. Bhola stood accused of a crime that struck at the heart of our collective conscience, rape under Section 376 of the Penal Code. Yet the portrait of Bhola, painted by his acquaintances within the prison walls, contradicted the heinous nature of the crime he was accused of. Unlike the black and white narratives that often defined cases within these walls, Bhola's innocence or guilt remained shrouded in shadow. Bhola hailed from a humble background, born into a family entrenched in poverty yet sustained by unwavering perseverance. Prior to his incarceration, he eked out a living as a rickshaw driver, while his wife toiled as a cleaning servant in the homes of the more affluent. Their struggle was emblematic of the stark divide that permeated our society. One pivotal figure in Bhola's narrative was his young niece, a 12-year-old girl thrust into the unforgiving world of labor at a tender age. She worked as a maid in a household where Bhola would pick and drop her off each day. As a means of supplementing their meager income, Bhola occasionally undertook odd jobs for the homeowners, a young couple who leased the upper portion of their house to a bachelor Suleiman. However, the tranquil facade of this household concealed a web of deceit and betrayal. Bhola inadvertently stumbled upon the house owner's wife engaging in a clandestine affair with the tenant Suleiman, witnessing their illicit liaison firsthand. In a moment fraught with moral ambiguity, Bhola chose to keep their sordid secret to himself, opting for silence over confrontation. A few days had passed since Bhola unwittingly stumbled upon the illicit affair between Suleiman, the tenant, and the wife of the house owner, while his young niece served as a maid in that same household. In the aftermath of the clandestine encounter, the homeowner's wife summoned Bhola to undertake labor work on their rooftop. The installation of solar panels demanded cement work to fortify the base structure, a task Bhola approached with a profound sense of duty and resolve. Despite the weight of the secrets he carried, he dedicated himself wholeheartedly to the job, each stroke of the cement a silent testament to the turmoil brewing within him. With aching muscles and a heavy heart, he painstakingly completed the task before departing. Later that same day, as Bhola returned to pick up his niece, a subtle shift in her demeanor caught his attention. She appeared distant and jaded, her eyes reflecting an elusive emotion he couldn't quite discern. Brushing it off initially as mere tiredness, Bhola didn't dwell on it much. The gravity of the situation became more pronounced the following day. Upon arriving to escort his niece once more to her place of employment, Bhola sensed an air of reluctance and fear emanating from her. The young girl, typically eager to begin her daily routine, now hesitated, her eyes betraying a deep-seated fear that surpassed ordinary apprehension. A week later, Bhola's world crumbled as he found himself under arrest. The accusation leveled against him was shocking: rape of his own niece. The case filed painted a grim picture, alleging that on the day Bhola had gone to perform labor work on the rooftop, he had perpetrated the heinous act there. It claimed that when he returned to pick up his niece, her apparent fatigue was not due to mere exhaustion, but the aftermath of the traumatic incident she endured. Furthermore, it contended that her palpable fear the following day, when she recoiled from Bhola's presence, stemmed from terror instilled by him. During his time incarcerated, Bhola's naive and uneducated family sought assistance from the tenant, Suleiman, who coincidentally happened to be a lawyer. They entrusted him with their hopes, selling Bhola's rickshaw to scrape together 150,000 rupees in exchange for Suleiman's promise to secure Bhola's bail. Months dragged on, each passing day marked by agonizing anticipation, only to culminate in shattered dreams. Their hopes were shattered when Suleiman callously reneged on his commitment, cold-heartedly informing them that their sacrifice had been in vain. He heartlessly dismissed their pleas, citing impossibility and deceitfully claiming that the money they had entrusted to him had been consumed by purported legal fees. Later, according to Bhola, the girl's mother confided in his family, revealing a distressing truth. They had been coerced into accusing Bhola by none other than the tenant, Suleiman, and the landlady. Allegedly, they had been paid off and threatened, leaving them with no choice but to comply with the sinister demands imposed upon them. I found myself grappling with conflicting narratives that refused to yield to certainty. Was Bhola truly innocent, a victim of calculated betrayal orchestrated by the conniving tenant and landlady desperate to conceal their illicit affair? Or did he, in a moment of moral lapse, commit the heinous act he was accused of? It is tempting, indeed, to cast blame upon the shoulders of the landlady and tenant, to paint them as orchestrators of a sinister plot aimed at ensnaring Bhola in the coils of falsehood. I'm unable to assert anything definitively. Yet the girl's demeanor on the day of the incident, her evident fatigue, hints at something amiss. Perhaps an altercation did occur, though not necessarily involving Bhola. The palpable fear emanating from the girl in the aftermath of the alleged assault raises further questions. Was it fear of returning to the scene of the assault, or was it fear of Bhola himself? Months passed, and as I was released, whispers regarding Bhola's fate lingered in the air. Eventually a resolution surfaced, albeit tinged with ambiguity, as the girl's family reached a settlement with Bhola. Money exchanged hands, small parcels of land in a distant village changed ownership, and promises were made. These actions culminated in Bhola's release, offering a semblance of closure for all those ensnared in the tumultuous web of accusations and betrayal. In the end, all that remains are fragments of truth, scattered like dust upon the winds of time. Bhola's innocence or guilt remains an enigma, etched into the very fabric of our shared consciousness, like an unsolvable riddle. It serves as a haunting echo, resonating through the depths of our souls, a poignant reminder of justice's elusive dance within the shadows of our world. Thank you for watching aikdastaan, where every tale is a testament to the human spirit and every voice resonates with the truth as they perceive it.